I'm Brooke, and welcome to another Brooke review. I am really extremely excited about this review. This is my Harry Potter Brooke review, and I have been wanting to do this review for about 8 months now. I promised it 8 months ago in a quick announcement, and I just never got around to it. But I'm glad that I'm doing it now and that I'll have it posted before the 7th movie, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, comes out at midnight on Thursday, which I'm going to see. So I wanted to have this up in time so that, you could watch it and know my opinion on the books and the movies and more. So here we go. I really want to do this Brooke review justice, so please enjoy, whether you're a Harry Potter fan or not, or you haven't even heard of it. But if you haven't, then I don't know where you've been for the past 10 years. So, alright. This is Book 1, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Book 2, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Book 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Book 5, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Book 6, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And the 7th and final book in the series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Alright, so I'm going to do something a little bit different about this for this review. I'm going to go through each book and kind of give you my opinion, my little synopsis on each. Normally I don't like to do that just because I don't want to give anything away, and for this series I think that's really important, but I want to do it anyway because each book is different, and I just want to tell you what I love about each and every one. So just to get a couple of the basic things out of the way, the Harry Potter series was written by J.K. Rowling. She is one of my all-time favorite authors. I am in love with this series. I don't know if I can say that enough. I am so inspired by J.K. Rowling. I just think she's a genius. So I want to go more into her when I'm through with the actual Brooke review part of this review. So the genre is fiction fantasy. Harry Potter, he is a wizard, and he's a famous wizard, but he doesn't even know it. In the first book, he turns 11 years old, and he is living with the Dursleys, his aunt and uncle, and their son Dudley, because his parents died when he was only a baby. So he's grown up in this horrible home. He had no idea who he was or what powers he had, and on his 11th birthday he gets the surprise of a lifetime and learns that he's a wizard and that he has been accepted to Hogwarts, a school of witchcraft and wizardry. And Hogwarts is where he meets his best friends Ron and Hermione, and other friends like Dumbledore and Hagrid, and it's also where he makes enemies like Draco Malfoy. So I'm going to read you the back of Sorcerer's Stone, and then I want to read you 2 quotes that I love from this book. Harry Potter has never played a sport while flying on a broomstick. He's never worn a cloak of invisibility, befriended a giant, or helped hatch a dragon. All Harry knows is a miserable life with the Dursleys, his horrible aunt and uncle, and their abominable son Dudley. Harry's room is a tiny closet at the foot of the stairs, and he hasn't had a birthday party in 11 years. But all that is about to change when a mysterious letter arrives by Owl Messenger, a letter with an invitation to a wonderful place he never dreamed existed. There he finds not only friends, aerial sports, and magic around every corner, but a great destiny that's been waiting for him, if Harry can survive the encounter. Alright, here's the first quote that I love. This is chapter 10 called Halloween, and this is the very last paragraph. Harry, Ron, and Hermione have just gotten themselves into a sort of scrape, and this last paragraph is probably one of my favorite moments in the entire series. But from that moment on, Hermione Granger became their friend. There are some things you can't share without ending up liking each other, and knocking out a 12-foot mountain troll is one of them. So I think that's such a great moment because Harry, Ron, and Hermione are best friends for the rest of the series, and they have such a deep friendship and an understanding of each other, and that moment is when they really kind of solidify that friendship. So I think that's so cool. And this next quote, or more like a paragraph, is at the very end of the book, and Dumbledore is speaking to Harry. If there is one thing Voldemort cannot understand, it is love. He didn't realize that love as powerful as your mother's for you leaves its own mark. Not a scar, no visible sign. To have been loved so deeply, even though the person who loved us is gone, will give us some protection forever. And that's one of the major themes in the book. Love versus hatred and hate. You know, good versus evil. And so, in this first book, you learn why Harry's parents have died, more about his past, and just, you know, some really important things about Harry himself. So, his lightning scar, for instance, which is kind of the symbol of the entire book. So this is book 1. Book 2 is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. You see the characters start to mature, and you know, this is their second year at Hogwarts, so they're a little bit older, and you start to learn more about their relationships and certain traits about Harry. Harry begins to learn more about himself. You are definitely introduced to new characters. For instance, in every book, there is a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Defense Against the Dark Arts is one of the students' favorite subjects at Hogwarts, and every year there's always a new teacher. So, in book 1, it was Professor Quirrell. In book 2, it's Gilderoy Lockhart, and each new teacher kind of has these funny, quirky behaviors that the students have to get to know. So, I always love reading about the newest teachers and, you know, the goings-on at Hogwarts, and that's another one of my favorite parts of this series. Book 3 is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm just going to read you the first paragraph off the back of the book. For 12 long years, the dead fortress of Azkaban held an infamous prisoner named Sirius Black, convicted of killing 13 people with a single curse. He was said to be the heir apparent to the Dark Lord Voldemort. So, this book is very important because a new character named Sirius Black is introduced. I'm not going to tell you anything more about Sirius Black, just that he is a very exciting character to read about, and this makes for a really great adventure. One of my favorites. I've probably watched the movie version of this book 100 times. For a while, it was the only Harry Potter movie I owned, so it was my only choice when I wanted to watch Harry Potter, and I love this book a lot. Book 4 is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and this book is really interesting because it is mainly about the Triwizard Tournament, this competition between 3 different wizard schools. And it's just really cool because you meet these new kids with these new backgrounds, and they come from different places. And you know, all of the other characters that you've met in the first 3 books have mainly been from Hogwarts. So this is really cool. I love this book because it kind of, this is Harry's first love. He starts to fall in love, and also there's a ball at Hogwarts, the Yule Ball, and that was a really fun read. And this is also where the tables start to turn and it starts to get a little bit darker. The mystery and the plot really begins to thicken in this 4th book, and that's why it's really, really long. So, that was Harry's 4th year at Hogwarts, and now he's going into his 5th in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This book is probably my least favorite of the series just because it gets really dark and sinister and Harry begins to question certain things about himself. And it's just pretty sad book in the series. It's just not my favorite, but it's a very important book. A lot of important events take place in this one, and again, it's really starting to become darker and scarier, and the action's really starting to pick up, especially after a certain event at the end of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So, this is when you start to fear for Harry's life and the lives of his friends. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. This was a good one, but you're starting to look forward to the 7th book, where more of the mysteries that are introduced in this book are solved, and this one is pretty sad as well. Something horrible takes place in this one, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you've already read the series, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to give that away. And this is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the last book of the series. This book is really deep and just really exciting, and it has a lot of depth to it. So the characters, really grow in this one. They learn more about each other, more about themselves, and, everything, the series is ending. So all of the mysteries from book 1 onward are solved in this book. So it's kind of like a relief to the reader when you're like, ah. So that's what it was all this time. And you just don't know how it ends. It keeps you on your toes, and every minute you're reading it, you're thinking, is he going to stay alive? What's going to happen? There were a lot of rumors about this book when it came out, and funny story, I was out of town when this book was published, or when it came out, and I wanted it so badly that I ran to Target that morning at 8 o'clock, one of the first people in the store to buy it, and then my dad tells me that he had pre-ordered it, and it was waiting for us at home. So we then had 2 copies of this book, and I wound up giving 1 copy away, but we were out of town because my sister was in a swim meet, and so while she wasn't swimming, my dad and I would sit down together and read the series, or read this last book. So, I just wanted to go over some of the pros and cons about the series as a whole real quickly before I end this video, because I think I'm running out of time. But this is one of my absolute favorite series. I try to reread this every single summer just because the plot is so intricate and there are so many little details that go into it that I just can't wait to reread it. And it really helps, especially if you like to write. I learned so much from reading J.K. Rowling's work.